Kevin Sinclair here with Irish Illustrated at irishillustrated.com. Lately, there's been a lot of crystal ball predictions for prospects in Notre Dame, and I'm sure for a lot of Irish fans, it feels like this frustrating waiting game for when is this guy going to announce? When's that guy going to announce? So I figured in the meantime, I would do a video breakdown of the three prospects on offense who I've predicted to Notre Dame and what they would add to the Irish in the event those predictions materialize. Let's dive in. Starting with running back Jayden Limar out of Washington. This is a very slippery and versatile running back. Really good on the screen game. They get the ball to him here on tunnel screens and other passes where just getting him the ball in space. And he has the speed to take it the distance. Every time he gets the ball, he ran a 4.53 verified time recently. But just very slippery, very creative running back. Straight up, very difficult to tackle. Uses a straight arm very well. Very shifty, twitchy, and changing direction. And then as you can see here, very patient in waiting for openings. And then he's very quick to exploit them. As you can see here, he has the football. There's nowhere to go, all jammed up. Shows good patience, finds a small crease, and he is through that gap very quickly to move the chains for his offense. So very difficult to tackle, low center of gravity, very quick, twitchy, and creative with the football. And, you can see that again here, weaving his way through traffic all the way to the end zone. And then also a very good receiver. So we talked about his screen game, which is substantial, something we saw a lot from Kyron Williams. And that's why I liken him to Kyron to an extent. Kyron was a receiver in high school and had very good receiving ability. And we see that from Jayden Limar as well. So this is a running back I'm particularly high on. And then Braylon James, top 100 wide receiver out of Texas. It starts with his ability to get behind the defense. So he can stretch the field. He looks like he's about 6'2 to 6'3, around that 180 to 185 pound range. Have a really good program in Del Valley, who plays against very good competition. Programs like Lake Travis and Westlake, the best of the best in the state of Texas. There he is again, just beating coverage deep. Again, he's a guy who can stretch the field. And then when in contested situations, he can go up and fight for it. I talked to his trainer recently who really raved about his ability to track the football extremely well. And then with those verticals comes comeback routes always. So when you have receivers who are a vertical threat, they can eat you alive with comeback routes and quick hitches and things of that nature with the cushion they get. And that's true with Braylon James, and he is a real sharp route runner. And then on slants and passes over the middle, really good concentration on the football, does good work on deep crossing routes, slants, digs, and the like. Very dangerous that way. You can see that again here, crossing the field a little bit deeper down the field. And then to round it out, another pass where he's crossing the field. Again, I really like his focus on the ball. He can go up and get it. Dynamic all over the field, which is notable. And then Charles Jagusah, top 100 tackle out of Illinois, also a champion wrestler. As you can see, great feet. You're not getting around him often, certainly not at the high school level. Quite raw in his technique in that, but he is working on it, and he has all the size necessary to compete at tackle, at least 6'6", just over 300 pounds. And again, as a champion, undefeated wrestler, you can see that on film. There he is burying a defensive lineman in his run blocking duties. And here he is again getting uphill. He can attack linebackers as he does here. Once he locks horns with you, really difficult to get off of his block. And here he is again. Here's his pulling game coming across and really leveling a defensive end on a kick-out block. And then on the defensive line, sort of shades of Jerry Tillery in high school. He plays on the defensive line. He is an intense guy, very quiet, sort of off the football field, but he definitely shows an edge on it. And that's something I like about Charles. Good at shedding blocks, coming off blocks, and making tackles, as you saw in that last snap. And you see again here, plays some defensive end. He'll also play inside. Either way, he's a menace. And here he is at the tackle position, taking care of his guy, burying the defensive lineman. But as the ball is fumbled and this comes into the linebacker's hands, it's Jagusah with the tackle. sort of showing that versatility that he has. And then here he is. He's been working with J.C. Morrow. He used to work in the strength program in Iowa, Arkansas, and Memphis, working his technique. And as you can see here, shows really good feet. Sinks his hips. But what's just important here is that he's working on it. This is a raw lineman, but he's out there working on it to get better. A great student and a good fit for Notre Dame. So really a big fan of all three, starting with Jayden Limar, as I keep on saying, not only just a good fit and a great football player, but just a really good kid. I think he would do well at Notre Dame, and that 4.53 40 recently certainly kind of bolsters what we all think about him. Of course, Braylon James is that top 100 receiver that Notre Dame just desperately needs. I think he can be that go-to wide receiver one type for Notre Dame. Love that he's out of Texas and plays against such great competition, such great coaching, all of the above. And then Charles Jagusah, of course, very raw, like I said. Love how he gets after it with a professional trainer, that he's a champion wrestler. I like Notre Dame's odds with all three. And I look forward to kind of seeing what happens and when they will announce, as I'm sure all you Irish fans are as well. But that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in to Irish Illustrated. I'm Kevin Sinclair.